Hello, my name is Six Sokyalela. My friends call me the Sports Jock. Thank you very much for joining us again on TSJ TV. Hashtag Sideline View. Plenty to talk about, some positives, particularly in that fly-half region when it comes to the Springboks. That's what we're chatting about in today's episode. South Africa against Italy on Saturday in Pandova. South Africa winning 38-6. Huge margins. Should we look into the positives? Should we, start saying that they've turned the corner? Certainly not. Still plenty to look into the Springboks, and let's look at what happened and some 3 or 4 major key points that I picked up from my final match of the year in the commentary box. It was a bittersweet one for me, but thank you very much for joining us here, guys. It is midday on a Monday in South Africa. A bit gloomy today, certainly not so on Saturday when South Africa were running riot over Italy. Quite clearly we saw the difference between the two sides. Italy ranked 13th, and it did show on Saturday in some of the defensive errors that they showed on Saturday. South Africa did apply themselves heavily when it came to the forwards. I liked the I don't want to say dominance, because when you look at the two packs, South Africa were quite dominant and quite clearly so. But what I did like was, the pods that were in the mid region of the field, using the pods, 3 pods, trying to bash it up. And we did see, a very few balls heading to the wings, or Kotnos Kosad and Dylan Lates, or any ball, just moving down the back line. I didn't see that. But because it was the dominance of the forwards, and that's what has been lacking in South African rugby for a while, certainly when it comes to the Springboks, and that's what we've been asking for. That what happened to that dominance we had of our tight 5, our locks knowing what is going on the park, not just when it comes to the line out and scrums, but everybody being in tandem, knowing what is happening on the park. So I saw that on Saturday. Yes, it was against Italy, but I did see that against Italy on Saturday, and I liked what the Springboks did. There's a player I want to talk about which really impressed me against France in patches, 1 or 2 phases that I liked. But on Saturday certainly gave us something perhaps that, yes, we are missing. Yes, we would, sometimes change is good. And I was having a conversation the other day with my friend talking about change in general, because he is going through some changes himself. But change is good. What change does to a team environment, it sort of brings the best out of certain players. It brings out the best in the team environment. For example, Faf du Plessis with the Proteas. We don't know what he does with the team, but whatever he does with the team seems to work for them. But when I saw Handré Pollard on Saturday, I was very impressed 2 weeks ago, and I saw him again on Saturday. Missed four penalties or 4 kicks at post against France, but on Saturday, 100%. His attacking game is growing in confidence, and I think when he gets to Wales, he'll be hitting sort of where he sort of left us before he got that injury. But I really am impressed by Handré Pollard just by one thing. I've watched fly-offs. I've played with some brilliant fly-offs. I've watched Bowden Barrett. Congratulations, Player of the Year, IRB Player of the Year. Nominated and won the award yesterday. Congratulations to Bowden Barrett. Excellent, a fine example of what a modern day fly-off is, where the first instinct that he has is to run the ball, look for the gaps, put the team above or in front of the advantage line. And I think that's what Handré Pollard does with his game. When he sees that the defense is rushing up, his backline is under pressure, he is able to sort of force himself and take the tackle or take the gap, or make some sort of movement and not just offload it because you're thinking of retreating and being available for the next phase. So I like that in his game, Handré Pollard, that he backs himself to take the gap. If there's no option, hits in line, takes the tackle, puts it back, play the forwards. That wave that comes around, is something that he certainly brings in his game. Scrum off. Oof. It's a huge issue that we have in the country at the moment, that we can't even look at 4 or 5 test, and I mean test level playing scrum offs. I certainly think Ross Grenier has hit the ceiling. There's nothing more that we could see from him. what he is an excellent player. He's done well for the Lions. I'm not saying he must be dropped from the ranks of South African rugby or he will never make it again. But right now, you know, the kind of rugby that we want to adopt and instill in our rugby, particularly with the Springboks, seems to be lacking in his game plan. I think if Handré Pollard or Elton Jantjies, who's also not lost in South African rugby, could just find a scrum off. That's all. I'm not saying the others aren't scrum offs. Just a scrum off that will allow them to get quick ball. Because both Rudy Page and Ross Cronje, the other one has something the other one doesn't. You get me? Rudy Page, so I saw once or twice on Saturday where he picked up the ball and drifted across. Yes, there are instances where you can do that, seeing an overlap out wide, where you can, you know, sort of manipulate the space and try and drag one or two players and then cut out that flat pass. But the delay, 3 seconds, 2 seconds in getting the ball off the ground is still a major issue, and that's what puts our flyouts under pressure most of the time, because teams have noticed, like they've noticed with the Lions, who couldn't, you know, bring it home at 2 attempts at the Super Rugby in 2 consecutive years, where Elton Jantjies in a final now suddenly meets a rush defense and doesn't know what to do. 3 seconds I was talking about, those 4 seconds that in delay when delivering the ball becomes an issue. So I think what I saw, yes, congratulations to Bonke Mbonambi as well, who got an opportunity starting for the Springboks after 13 matches coming off the bench. I'm excited for him. I think he's a player who's stayed within the ranks and trusted his game, and, you know, been hopeful that he would get his sort of start, and I know he'll get plenty for the Springboks. Missed 1 or 2 lineouts, but, you know, perhaps it's jitters. You may play 13 test matches, but when you're starting, it's a whole different story. Well, congratulations to him. Decent game, scored himself a try, and, you know, what was also nice was to see some tries from the Springboks. You know, some driving more tries, and that's something that I still want us to go back to. What we did so well in the late 2000s from some of the unions, then when it got to the Springboks, because of partnerships that had developed over time. When it got to the Springboks, everything became, you know, what it was, and we were able to win the World Cup. And I did mention in my previous video that someone asked me the other day if we were to play like World Cup qualifiers, would we be able to qualify? It would be quite a struggle. But if we were to play World Cup next year, would we win it? No. But we're 18 months away from the World Cup. That's what we need to, you know, sort of remind ourselves of. That 2017 is done. 1 more match against Wales next week and then it's done. You know, we've got 1 more year, or 1 year and 2019 of Super Rugby and this and that to pick a solid squad that can win us a World Cup. You know, that's where we're at the moment. But substitutions, when it comes to Alistair Coetzee's side, I was impressed. Yes, he was able to make those substitutions in time, because in the past couple of weeks I've been mentioning that he doesn't trust his time management, or, you know, giving certain players 20 minutes knowing that he's going to play 20 minutes or 15 minutes in the second half. So I was impressed. Yes, Kitchoff came on for Tandai Mtawarira in the first half, himself making himself a nuisance off the bench, because he's been quite a revelation for South Africa off the bench, and that's what we've been working on as well, trying to build a bench that can be effective in the second half. Certainly put up his hand, Stephen Kitchoff, very impressed with him. Speedy recovery to the beast, Tandai Mtawarira. But, you know, South Africa, getting there slowly, but we are getting there. There are still plenty of questions in the back line. I'm still disappointed that Lukhanyo is not there, but I'm impressed by what I saw on Saturday, in the sense that Pollard is what I'm still looking at. The scrum off didn't impress me again for 80 minutes. Both the scrum offs didn't impress me. Fly off, yes, there are signs that he could perhaps give us something more at the moment, which is what we need. But again, from the physicality side, I won't touch on that, because Italy, 13th position. Come on, I was expecting nothing less than more than 38-6, but it is what it is. Wales next. Is Alistair Coetzee going to trust a guy like Lukhanyo to make a mark against Wales? I don't know. Will he be forced to make rash changes, or will he stick to continuity? I know he likes sticking to certain, sticking to continuity, picking the same guys for certain positions, like he did with Kasim Adams for a while. But Will he trust Lukanyam? I don't know. I will post though a video after he does give us his squad on Thursday. I will give my comment, and I want you to give us a comment as well. Please, you're more than welcome anytime to leave your comment, to like, to share, and please, please subscribe. Until then, yeah man.